Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be filling up another sketch page with some Halloween-y kind of stuff. This is also going to be a bit of a redemption arc for last week's. Coming in hot with my new teacup. I just needed to show this for obvious reasons, and I don't know why, but I didn't film. Either I didn't film or lost the first little bit of the sketch page where I was just drawing the sketches in pink. It's not that big of a deal, but I replaced it with my teacup, so you saw that. I'm jazzed about it. So anyways, I'm doing these sketches in my pink pencil that I always use. The color is salmon in a Faber-Castell Polychromos pencil. And as I was saying before, it's like a redemption from last week because I am doing a wizard. I'm going to be doing the bat boy and a little frog guy kind of similar, just way, way better. I like to put this pencil extender on the end of my pencil because I just really like it to be long. Sometimes it's nice to have it far away, especially when I'm like mapping out the sketch page. I just like it. It just feels good. I don't know. I don't know if everybody else likes that, but that's why it's on there. So I'm mapping out where I want the bat boy to be, just making sure I have enough space for everything to fit properly. And the difference between this week and last week, when I did the big sketch page where I was doing real time talking, I don't know if you saw it or not, but if you didn't, I did it on only ink and I didn't have a sketch underneath and it was really stressful. And so I'm like, maybe I'm just not one of those people that needs to do that, you know? Who are we trying to impress here? The way we're going to impress is by doing something that's fun and also not super, super hard on my brain. So I decided, let's just do like a colorful sketch with the pink, and then I can go over with ink, which is one of my most favorite things to do. I'm using a Micron pen, number 02. And this is a really good size for me. I don't know why. I usually do like smaller things. I do like small drawings. So the number 2 is a pretty good size for me to get into all the little places I need to get to, if you know what I'm saying. So starting off with doing this little pumpkin house, and I'm already having a billion times more fun than I was last week. This is definitely what I needed to be doing. I just need to have a sketch before, and the sketch can be really loose as well. It kind of takes all the pressure off the sketch because you know you're just going to go over it with a pen anyways. And it looks cool after because there's like that little hint of pink. I don't know, I don't want to call it an underpainting, under sketch that I just really like the look of it, and I love adding the ink, and I love micron pens because just the tip is like nice and it's kind of soft compared to other pens like that. So highly recommend. The most popular pen probably everybody uses and knows about. Okay, just so you know, I'm on that boat. I'm on that wagon. So I wanted to do one of those little chimney things on top of this pumpkin house. I love doing those little chimney things. Don't for the life of me know what it is, nor have I barely ever seen one in real life. Like, I don't know if those are from England or what. I'm sure they have them in Canada. I know I've probably seen one or two before, but just, like the old vintagey ones. That's what I was going for. And then I just decided to do like a little rat and some skulls to like fill the space. I really liked the rat sketch. That one was close to home for me. That one was the exact way I wanted it, and the skulls turned out pretty good. I gave them little fangs. I don't know. I'm trying to get more like adding more things into sketches. I'm trying to get a little more creative with stuff like that, and going slower when I'm doing things. So basically, just having a really good time doing the first initial line work for this whole sketch page. And the thing is that I knew I wanted to put color pencil on top, which of course I'm not going to like avoid the black lines, but it's really nice to have them there because it shows through really well, and it really tells me where I want to go, and nothing gets lost underneath. Like if I just had the pink, I would get kind of lost of where some of the shapes are. So it's nice to have the black if that's the look that you're going for, which it obviously was for me. And I'll just go over top though afterwards because I will lose some of the lines, and it's not as like dark and prominent once you do all the color pencil on top, of course. So that's not a big deal, but I will use a different pen because it's pretty hard on the micron pens to go over top of color pencil. It kind of gets like clogged the tip, and I don't like that. I don't want to ruin the pen. nor does it work because it works for about 2 seconds and then it stops coming out. The ink stops coming out. So I like to put a little towel down now. That's a new thing I've been doing with my pencils because I get so frustrated when they roll around. So I've got this nice towel and I folded up the ends and I'm laying out all of my darker Holbein colors. And now I'm going to arrange them in order from lightest, light, kind of high saturation to midtones, to the darkest colors. That way I know where everything is and it's kind of set out for me. I like to organize them like that before. It's a lot easier to pick a color you want, especially because I just look at things of like what's the value, you know, how light or dark it is. And that's how I go about picking colors. And like I'll just pick what the value is. Light, do I need a light color? Do I need a dark color? Do I need a mid-tone color? And then do I want it to be more neutral, high saturation, low saturation? Do I want it to be cool or warm? That kind of thing. So I set them out with that in mind. And that's how I kind of pick those colors. I'll have another video up very soon, next week, coloring this tree and gnome portion, and I go into a lot of detail about how I pick those colors when I do really colorful color pencil drawings, because a lot of people ask me that, how do you pick colors? And it's not really, I wouldn't say it's so much about picking the colors. That's sort of your own choice. Oh, brush pen reveal. I'm using a brush pen. I'm trying to figure out how to use it, but it's hard. So I'm just kind of putting it here and there. Don't really know. But it is really nice and I love using it. It's just scary. So anyways, picking colors is sort of your own thing. You pick the colors you like, but the way that I pick them has a theory behind it, and I try to explain it as best as I can through next week's video, where I will be coloring that tree and gnome portion. But the rest of it I'll be doing in this video. Spoiler alert, I love how this wizard turned out. I love this wizard so much. I love how he's like angry. He's walking around. He's got a little star in his hand. 10 out of 10, no notes for me. I really like it. I like how it turned out. I actually liked the wizard from last week too, after I was looking at it a bit. I don't know if you had seen it, but it was a bit of I didn't really like how the sketches from last week turned out, but now I kind of like it. I like how messy it is. And yeah. So anyways, I like to do really dark shadows with this black pen. I really want to put some nice dark black shadows in and kind of sketch them out on the edges of them, if that makes sense, like add some little lines there. Doing it on the legs here, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. And I just think that look is really cool and fun, and I'm loving doing like a cartoony style, especially for Halloween. Cartoony style, that just like works for me. I just think that it's such a like goofy, fun, low stress way to draw, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I do like doing other stuff too, but for right now, this is my kind of new thing that I'm exploring, and I'm having a lot of enjoyment out of it. And I like just the ease, just like doing these little spindly fingers. Nothing is bringing me more joy than not worrying about it. And usually I'm always like, oh, I don't want to do a character like that is human like a wizard or a gnome or something. I sometimes avoid doing human like stuff because I get scared. I think too much about it. I'm thinking, is it going to be, is the proportions going to be messed up? So doing it in this really loose, cartoony style has really helped me to just go, okay, it's actually not that big of a deal at all. Just do it. Oh my God, it's okay. Just make it round. Make it long and spindly. It's fun. And I like it. And I think that the spindly fingers in the hands particularly are funny. And I like that. Also, I can't stop putting middle fingers on things now. I keep giving everything a middle finger, and it's very freeing for me. So that may be something we need to sort of figure out in the future. But for now, let's just enjoy the ride. You know what I'm saying? So this is what it looks like with just the pen. I like it with just the pen even. And if I was going to do it black and white, I would just add a lot more lines. I would do some hatching and stuff like that. So I was kind of debating at first, like, should I just do black and white and like have the nice pink underneath? But no, of course, I wanted to I had a real hankering for doing some color pencil. I couldn't wait to get my paws on those pencils again because I hadn't done it in a little bit. I was really doing a lot of painting recently, which is also fun, of course, but I just was really missing my color pencils. So I couldn't wait to pull them out to do this. So naturally, I had to do the first one, a pumpkin. I hope nobody's getting sick of pumpkins, but I just love drawing them so much. So as many pumpkins as I can possibly draw, that's what I'm going to be doing. No better time than fall. So I did my reflected light on this pumpkin house. It was kind of my first one, and like I said, I hadn't done it in a while, so I was just kind of warming up again with them. And it's pretty easy because it's orange. You're gonna put a little bit of shine on it. So it was a little bit of a low stress one, but it's not as complicated color wise as I normally do. Like normally there's a lot more. Ooh, did you see that little guy? Gonna start this frog guy with a really bright neon yellow green. It's called Chartreuse from Holbein, and did a neon orange and a bit of a pink for the cheeks. That's what I wanted to start for underneath, and I was gonna layer up, and I wanted to look like a swampy, like a little swampy boy. And so I just kind of was layering greens, still getting used to it, but I do think that this one had a little bit more to it as I was getting more comfortable. And I just kind of like layered them. I didn't really know what to do because I wanted it to look like more neutral, more brown, not as, I don't want this page to look super, super that neon-y, but it kind of does. Anyways, I can't help myself. But that's just what was going through my head while I was doing this guy. I do like the pink accents. Like I love pink and green together. And I love the small demon on top of the frog demon's head. Oh yeah, and I put some texture in with the mechanical eraser. Just did a couple little lines there, and that was leaving space for me to that was leaving space for me to add more color because it was getting a little too built up. So by erasing it a little bit on where the stomach is and the legs and stuff, not only does it add texture, but it also leaves more area for me to fill in with. The color will come out more high saturated when I put this bright blue on, and when I go over again with that neon yellow green, it just like pops more. So that's the great thing about color pencils. You can erase it to an extent for most of them. And if you need like a little more space or you want to brighten a color up, just erase it a little bit. Just go over it on top, no stress. And then that's the Winsor & Newton pen. I should mention that I did all the line work over top of the drawings once I was finished because that one does not get clogged, and it's quite good actually. It's a little bit of a harder tip, so I don't like it as much for regular sketching as we have found out from previous videos. But so that one and the Micron are pretty much the only ones I use. And I mean, I would if I could, the brush pen. I would if I could. The skulls, I love them. They're giving me old Halloween-y comic vibes. I should actually do a little thing where I show my old Halloween comics because I have a couple cool ones. And so I just wanted them to be like neon-y, still like that it's a skull color, but it's in some weird light or something. So that's why it's glowing, like it has like a green glow on it. I put my neon orange in there a bit, and I just had fun with doing them. They're very small, so I could only do so much to them. So I kind of just decided to like have fun with the colors. And yeah, I'm happy with how they turned out. Would like to explore. And I like the like, what are those things called on the top of your head that you have like cracks in it? The skulls have cracks on the tops. I like that. But yeah, I would like to explore that kind of coloring more because I don't know. I like the vibe that they give, that the skulls give. The rat coloring, meh. I don't really care for it. It was just kind of, we've seen it before. Like I said, I don't know. I love rats, love the look of them, love the creepiness of them. I need something special to them. I need to find some special thing about them, to way to do them to make them more interesting. And I just haven't found that thing yet where I'm like, yes, that looks really, really good to me, or I love the way I did that. So I keep practicing. I'm just showing you a color here for some reason. Oh no, I'm showing you how I sharpen them. So for these, Oh, yes. I have a little jar and this tiny sharpener that does short point sharpening because the Holbein colors I find are too soft to do my long point sharpener. That's what I always used to use. So if you've been here for a while, you know. And the long point does work well for my polychromos, like pink color, for example, because it's a bit harder. But I'm just finding that I don't want the leads to break or anything. So I just moved to using a short point sharpener for the Holbein ones, but they do have to be sharpened pretty often when you use that. And that's why I was kind of avoiding it, but I've given in at this point and, oh, this point, hilarious. And yeah, so I'm doing this wizard now and I'm obsessed with the wizard. The only thing I kind of wish is that I didn't go so like crazy with the colors. I just got a little carried away and didn't know how to like bring it back after, but I do love the reflections. I hadn't really done it this. I was just like, "Oh, let me just try this." And it just worked out. So I was really really happy with that, doing the reflection and leaving out some pieces that are white. So I just didn't color with the first layer some white parts and just where I left those parts out to make it look like a shiny cloak kind of thing. I really, really liked that. And here I still like it with the purple. It's when I started adding like too much oranges and pinks, it sort of starts to look like iridescent. It still looks really cool at the end. Just in my head, it was more kind of just like what it looks like right now. I just wanted it to be like greenish blue. But alas, what you know, what can you do about it? You can't do anything. It's like that now. And like I said, I still like it. But yeah, I was just having so much fun. This page really helped me to get that feeling I was looking for of coloring with color pencils. I would just really wanted to do that and I had so much fun doing it. And the pen, oh, it was just a dream. It did take a while. How long do I think this took? Oh, a couple days, like on and off, not too bad. Because once I started to get into doing stuff, it's like an hour could pass and I wouldn't even know, you know? And I sort of took what that wizard kind of really colorful look, and I actually ended up kind of doing it again in this bat. I sort of could have left the bat here as well. I kind of wanted it to be a grayish pinkish sort of look, but it ended up being a little bit more colorful, a little bit more like iridescent looking than I originally intended, let's say. But for Bat Boy, that's no issue. Anyways, I took this same icy blue color and did the reflected light on the bat. I pretty much took this same color and did it everywhere. I always sort of go to this color for my reflected light, actually, just in general. So it's not that much of a challenge for me to remember that. But in all of these little sketches, I did put it in each one to kind of, you know, unify everything. Same with the neon orange. So I wanted to bring them together a bit, but I still feel like they are kind of all their own things. Like, I don't think that the frog really matches with the Bat Boy just because the Bat Boy is very, like, lighter colored, I find. But I don't mind it. Like, I don't care. I think it still looks cool. So, just had to go over these little pupes and darken, same thing, darken the lines. Pretty straightforward. I love how the pencil grain on the Bat Boy, it looks like fur kind of. Oh yeah, and then I took my white Faber-Castell pen and just did some little highlights here and there on the eyes. Where else did I put it? Anywhere that needed to be shiny really, but I don't like going overboard with that. And like I said, in another video that's coming next week, I will be doing a real-time talking video of how I choose my colors and how I went about coloring this whole tree and gnome situation. And I had a lot of fun and it was a really good time. So can't wait for you to watch that. So I take the pen again and I'm just gonna go over these mushrooms, and I could erase, but I don't want to at this point because sometimes it erases a bit of the pen and it just doesn't give you the same look. So I like to go with the Faber-Castell. It's just as good. And whoa, just taking you right up close as we can go. For some reason, I just really like doing it. I don't know. Yeah, this is our finished sketch page, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.